Okay, so Tokyo Revengers has been getting so much hype. It's been kind of ridiculous how much hype I've been seeing this show get. So I decided to watch the show. I've got a couple of things to say about it, just really my first impressions because I'm gonna watch it through. I'm gonna give into the hype. I'm gonna watch it through because after this first episode, I'm not gonna lie, I don't know what the hype's about. I really don't. If you haven't seen the show, there'll be slight spoilers in here for the first episode, but I mean, I'm just gonna give a brief summary on what happens. It's sort of like an isekai, I think some time travel stuff. I don't know what's going on. Dude is like he's a college graduate, I think high school graduate, whatever, living his normal life, kind of boring life, falls into the train tracks, goes back in time, back when he was in middle school, when he was in a gang, and when he had a girlfriend who he cared about a lot, but he didn't remember about this girl until he was about to get hit by this train. So then he sees the girl, and then he remembers that in the present day that she died or something like that. So then he talks to her little brother and then is like, on this day, this many years in the future, your sister's gonna die and you are too, so you gotta protect her. So then that's when he shakes dude's hand and he wakes up in the hospital bed right after getting hit by the train. And then lo and behold, the one that saved him from getting hit by the train is her sister, who's older now and is a police officer. And he explains to him, yo, I just saved you from getting hit by this train. I studied for however many years, became a police officer, blah, 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 blah. But I couldn't save my sister. She died. She still died. So then that's when the episode ends. And going off of that first episode, I really, really don't know which direction the show's going to go. And I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing. I'm going to take it as a good thing, though, considering the amount of praise that this show is getting right now. But, like, I don't know. I don't know what this girl has to do. Obviously, I would assume the whole show is probably, maybe it's going to be about the girl. I genuinely don't know. I don't know how this time travel is really going to have an effect on everything else, because I've seen, like, obviously the thumbnail for the show, and it seems like there's like 8 different characters who look the same, like who looks like the main character back when he was in middle school. So I don't know if like everyone's time traveling out here. I don't know what's going on, obviously, because I haven't seen it, but I'm gonna take the time to watch it. I'm gonna react to probably each episode on TikTok because I don't want to get copyrighted on here. But the show seems interesting. I'm not hooked on from the first episode for sure, because I just rewatched the episode because I didn't even remember, but I've been sleeping on this show for about like a month now. I watched the first episode, I think like a couple weeks ago, and then I just never decided to keep watching the show. But I keep seeing people just talking about how this episode's this episode's that, the manga chapter's doing this, manga chapter's doing that. So I'm like, okay, I've got to watch the show, because that's the same thing that happened with Jujutsu, and Jujutsu is now one of my favorite shows. So I can already tell that this show off the jump is not going to be like a show involving powers and fighting and all that stuff. At least that's what it seems like. I don't see any sort of stuff like that going on. But it does look like a more story-driven show based on plot, which is fine. Absolutely fine. I just hope it can live up to all the hype that it's getting, because I've heard people say it's overhyped. But I mean, people say that about every show, you know what I mean? But I've just seen it a little more frequently with this show. So again, I don't know if that's just people being haters or if that's genuinely what's going on, and that this show is just overhyped. But no, the main character, he seems cool. He seems like there's really nothing about him that sticks out to me right now. I think his look in middle school is really, really a main character type of look. His more adultish look is like very plain, but I'm sure they did that on purpose. But like as I said with the thumbnail, all these characters look pretty cool. They all look pretty cool. I don't know. I'm really interested to see which way they take it though, because there's so many people. Like I just don't know exactly who all these people are and how they're gonna do this time travel back and forth thing, because he went from like back in time. He went back in time and then came back like within 20 minutes. Obviously for him it was like a whole day, but it was like quick transitions. So I don't know how they're going to keep sending him back in time. Maybe he's going to have to keep like almost killing himself, I don't know, or get like shocked, and then I don't know. But it seems like it's going to be a very interesting show. But I just had to put my first impressions out there, and I'm gonna kind of hypothesize what I think by the time I'm finished with this show, and I'm putting my final impressions and my final thoughts about this show after I watch it all through when it's done for the season. I would say right now, judging off of the hype and what I've seen so far, I'm probably gonna end up liking this show, and I'm gonna have to guess. I'll say an 8 out of 10. That would be my guess. Well, I'm gonna rate it whenever this show ends. I'm gonna guess I'm gonna rate it like an 8 out of 10. So like somewhere like around B tier range, I would probably rate it. That's what I'm gonna assume this show is gonna be, just off of the first episode. I don't know what else is gonna happen. Again, I don't know how this show's gonna change course. It seems very straight line right now, because they're obviously just trying to save this girl. There's really nothing else to it. But yeah, that's my first impressions on Tokyo Revengers. and let's hope this show's good. I'm excited to see it. I'm excited to give into the hype. Let's see if this show's good.